What's up, everybody? You are tuned in to Intelligent Thoughts. My name, Dustin Coyle. This is the Daily Wager for Tuesday, May 9th, 2017. Just like yesterday, we have a one-game NBA day going on here. Coming to the end here of the season. We'll break this down here, yesterday's game. Yesterday we had Golden State sweeping the Utah Jazz. They go into Salt Lake City. They win 121-95. Draymond Green, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists. 30 points for Steph Curry, 21 for Clay, 18 for Kevin Durant. A good all-around game there for Golden State. They actually shoot 51.2%, a little over 51% from the field for the full game. A little over 42% from three land. Only made 11, but shot very, very well. This game played out basically this whole way. They jumped out to a 20-point lead in the first quarter. Really, really blew up my under 206 pick there. Lost by 5 points, something like that? Yeah. 4. And it was actually under 206.5, so I guess lost by 3.5 points. Utah did make it close at the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter. I think that they got the lead down to like 7 or something like that, I want to say. But in the fourth quarter, Steph Curry started shooting fantastically again, and really spread the lead back out to where it finished out at 121-95, complete blowout. Did tell you though, there was no way the Warriors were going to lose that game. Well, I mean, there's a way, but the minus 400, it was heavy for a money line, but overall, really, it's pretty much money in the bank as far as like taking the Warriors in that situation. In the loss, Hayward, 25 points. Rudy Gobert, 12 and 13. Shelvin Mack with 18, starting at point guard for George Hill. This could be the last game ever for Gordon Hayward in Utah. He becomes an unrestricted free agent, I believe. I think he's a UFA. This offseason, which basically begins now for him. I guess teams can, I don't know if they can start talking to him right now. I'm pretty sure they can. Kyle Lowry as well. He has decided to test the free agency market. He says all he cares about is a ring. I do not blame him at all. I really like hearing that from Mr. Lowry. All right, enough about that shit. Let's get into today. 6 p.m. Mountain Time, TNT, Game 5. Rockets at Spurs. This series has been a tale of, basically both teams have played as well as they could play and as shitty as they could play twice. And so we have a 2-2 series here. Tony Parker, torn quadriceps tendon, out for the season, maybe out for the rest of his career. In game 4, 2 minutes into the game, Nene, I'm not sure how you call it, I think it's Nene, goes down with an apparent groin injury. He has been now ruled out for the rest of the playoffs as well. He has a torn abductor. So that's going to be obviously a major, with Parker out, the Spurs basically just get, slower and less creative than they already were, which is basically their problem. And with Nene out, Houston just gets smaller, which you could say that is their weakness. If you would say they have a weakness, it's just that they're not big enough, they're not physical enough inside predominantly. We're probably going to have to see them run either some random people off the bench or play a lot of Ryan Anderson at the 5 and do 4 shooter, or well, I guess that'd be 5 shooters really if you have him at the 5. But just like a 5-shooter setup type of a situation. I don't think that's too unlikely, and not really sure how San Antonio would go about defending that. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. To me, this series is basically a toss-up and in every game. So I really don't know what to expect from either team. I think that the Rockets are probably the better team. I think that the loss of Nene is actually, well, probably not as big as the loss of Tony Parker. We'll see if there are any exploitations on either side, but I think they're both pretty big. But I would say the loss of Tony Parker is a little bit more significant because San Antonio just really has trouble creating and scoring, other than Kawhi Leonard. And then sometimes Patty Mills, sometimes Tony Parker, every now and again. But Kawhi Leonard is like by far their only real catalyst as far as that's concerned. So I worry about them. I think this should be a toss-up. But we got to take a look at the spread, don't we? All right, as of 10 a.m., 10:01 a.m., San Antonio -5.5, but the low juice, so that might be going to 5. San Antonio -220, Houston +190. Last night, I think I saw Houston at a +200 and like a -240. So it looks like a touch of cash is going on Houston here. I think that's not a horrible idea. Like, honestly, I think that this should be maybe a -130 +110 situation for the final 3 games of the series. I really don't see much of a home court advantage, as has been shown so far in games 1 and game 3. So I think that Houston +190 sounds like a pretty damn good pick to me. Realistically, I think you just pick, unless nothing really changes, like, abhorrently, this game. I would kind of like for the remaining 3 games of the series to take the underdog. If you're going to get like around a +200, like a 2-1 return, I think you're going to win at least one of those. I would say you might win 2, or you might win all 3, but you might win two times. And then the home pick doesn't really make any sense either, because you might lose 2 times, you might lose 3 times, but you might lose 2 for sure. I like the +190, just taking the money line odds there, and watching the game, walking away. I do think that Houston, I don't know. I think they're probably a slightly better team. Popovich, a better coach. D'Antoni, a very good coach, especially with the right pieces. Obviously, Steve Nash. Obviously, James Harden. Does very, very well with guards and very, very well with shooting. I love his style of play. I love Popovich's style of play too, though. Really, I love both of these teams. I think that Houston is able to shoot well for 2 of the final 3 games and probably get 2 wins. And unless Kawhi goes beast mode. If Kawhi goes Marshawn Lynch in the playoffs, then maybe. Otherwise, I think that, it's basically a toss-up, but if I have to lean any direction, I'm taking Houston. Alrighty. So that's going to bring us to the end of the show for the day. I might do an NBA Weekly today, I guess, because it has been a week. It's kind of a weird period. 2 of the series now finished. 2 of the series tied at 2-2. But I don't know. We can get in depth about it a little bit. There's obviously some interesting stuff to talk about with the Wizards Celtics as well, and then this series that we were just breaking down. Not a great series so far, but definitely has fireworks. Definitely has the potential to be a pretty badass show. All right. So everybody get your pick in. Enjoy the sun if you have it. Until later, I love you.